If you think that your customers are sticking around for years and years and years, but then you look at the statistic and it says they're only sticking around for 4 or 5 months, that's a reality check, and that's actually something you can use to leverage in your business and actually generate some better results. Hey everyone, welcome to Ontraport Use Cases. My name is Sam, and today we're going to be talking about how to forecast your business trajectory by calculating customer lifetime value, or what we call CLV. And this is one of my favorite topics because this is a statistic in business that a lot of people don't know and is crucial to knowing how you're going to succeed into the future. So what we're essentially talking about is a measure of the amount of profit you can expect to generate from any given customer for the duration of their relationship with your business. That's a bit of a mouthful, so let me break this down for you. The key to CLV is understanding that, let's say you sell $10 sunglasses online, right? Your initial reaction might be, okay, well, every customer is worth $10 to me, but that might not actually be true. How many people buy more than one pair of sunglasses, or buy a pair of sunglasses once a month or once every 6 months? These are the kind of things you gotta look for in order to fully understand what an average customer is worth to your business. And then once you know what an average customer is worth to your business, you're able to make all kinds of projections and forecasts. It's gonna make your marketing so much easier because you're gonna know what your budget is and how much you can afford to spend to generate a customer. The whole world opens up when you understand this statistic. Okay, so why would you wanna know this? To get a big picture view of your business. So like I said, it's not as simple as just one customer, one transaction, right? 2, refine your messaging and targeting. So once you sort of know who you're talking to, and what I mean by that is, taking the sunglass example, if it actually turns out that your customers buy, let's say 3 pairs of sunglasses on average, that's interesting, right? Because it means that maybe your messaging was wrong. Maybe it's not, hey, go pick out a pair of sunglasses you like. Maybe it's, hey, buy a bundle of sunglasses. Maybe you even offer bundle packages of sunglasses, 5 pairs for the price of 3 or something like that. 3, focus attention and resources on gaps in your business. So once you sort of figure out the whole lifetime value of a customer, and there's actually more to it than what I've already talked about, so we'll get into that in just a sec. But once you sort of figure out that entire lifespan, it's easy for you to notice holes, right? It's easy for you to say, oh, interesting, a lot of my customers purchase my product, maybe buy it once or twice, and then they kind of drop off after the 3rd purchase, assuming you have some sort of a subscription or something like that. And that might be interesting to know because maybe you can increase the client experience around that 3rd purchase and generate some more longer lasting customers. All right, and then 4th, you can course correct your retention strategy. So this one's interesting and it sort of touches on what I had just talked about, but let's say instead of sunglasses, you're selling software like Ontraport, right? And we sell software per month. If we find out that our average customer is canceling about 6 months in, that tells us something about our client experience 6 months in. That tells us something about our software's effectiveness 6 months in. And we can adjust and pivot our strategy to try to maintain that relationship longer than 6 months. It becomes, how do we get our average customer to stay for 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, rather than let's just get more people to buy for 6 months, if that makes sense. Okay, so like I said earlier, customer lifetime value is a lot deeper than people might initially think. You might think one purchase, that's my lifetime value, but that's not the case. And I want to give you some examples of statistics that play into customer lifetime value that you may not have thought of. Okay, so the first one we already sort of touched on, but retention rate, right? So if a customer creates an open order, some subscription product, right? And then they cancel their open order, that's all you need to know in order to generate your average retention rate statistic, which plays into your customer lifetime value. So let's say, in the example I just gave, that Ontraport's is 6 months. You can calculate this on our dashboard in Ontraport by saying, give me a statistic of people who create an open order and then cancel an open order, and what's the average time between those 2 actions. And Ontraport's gonna do the math for you, which is great, because that factors in. Because once you know, let's say your product's $100 a month and the average customer stays for 3 months, your average lifetime value based purely on transactions is $300, right? And that's different than $100 per customer like you might have initially thought. It's also great because it gives you a sense of reality. A lot of us are really optimistic as business owners. A lot of people start businesses because they're optimistic. And if you think that your customers are sticking around for years and years and years, but then you look at the statistic and it says they're only sticking around for 4 or 5 months, that's a reality check, and that's actually something you can use to leverage in your business and actually generate some better results. So if you run a partner program like we do here at Ontraport, your average customer value might actually be higher than you thought initially, because what if 1 in 4 of your customers tell their buddy and bring in additional revenue for your business? You would need to factor that into your CLV. Additionally, you would need to factor out whatever you're paying them in commissions. I know this sounds a little complicated, but don't worry because we have dashboards that are gonna help you figure this stuff out super simply. If your referrals bring you leads and those leads make purchases, that increases the total number in sales for that initial customer. So you gotta factor that into your CLV. Okay, so these are just 2 examples of numbers that you may have forgotten in your process to figure out your CLV. I encourage you to read on because there's tons more examples of information you're gonna wanna know in order to properly calculate this number. And it depends on your business model, it depends on your industry. So I encourage you to take the steps and figure this out for you and your business. And utilize Ontraport's dashboard. It's gonna make this 100 times easier for you. Okay, so please read on if you have any questions, and we've got tons more videos just like this one, so we'll see you next time.